Hello everybody, we're going into the second map of 6G taking on Endpoint. It is Derailed and we're going to be starting out with a bit of an aggression towards the B side, it seems. Heavy defense here. As Fancy, J Money and Deleter are going to be holding off. Fancy finds an opening kill. The popcorn guns are on display. The trades do come in. Star finds one in a second on the Deleter. Great shot coming in. As his teammate Rebirth is going to come in with one of his own. The flank coming in though, they've got to be careful because Supreme's making his way around behind. He's already found one kill and into a 2v3. Is able to back off and regroup with his teammate Sus over towards double doors, but as he gets taken down, it's only Sus. He's got to take down 3 opponents, and what a blow this would be to the morale of 6G if they lose this round.
Yeah, it's not looking likely though, so they do go ahead and claim it. Sus was the last man standing, he's going to be dropped, and we see 6G going ahead and finally claiming themselves an allied round. The first allied round they picked up so far in this best of 3 map.
Indeed it is. They lost 10 consecutive rounds in the previous to lose out the map. As soon as they took it 9-6, they were looking good on the axis. But once they went over to the allied side, they weren't able to connect all too much. Well, they weren't able to connect to anything, really. As it looked like Endpoint were just a more dominant team there on the axis, as they were able to take the individual plays. Now, losing out the first round, like we said before, though, it doesn't necessarily mean that the second round is going to be all too easy to pick up for the team that wins the first. We can see here the economies are actually pretty standardly spread. You've only got Fancy sitting on a popcorn gun, everybody else on Gavers. Well, the allies are in the same situation, Gavers and M1 carbines. So it all comes down to the aim duels here. No utility really in play for either team. It's only Hustle but 1 smoke. J Money loses a lot of HP, but Star surely not going to go for the repeat. He does and gets taken down from Heaven. That was a little bit unnecessary. Now as Hustle makes his way towards Heaven, trying to flank out the leader, he doesn't know that Fancy's up close. Thankfully, though, Fancy only has got the popcorn rifle, so he's not able to fully kill Hustle with those 3 bullets. Kills come in for 6G as well. Now it's a 3v3. Hustle looking to finish off the kill onto Fancy, but as he's heard reloading, Fancy's ready for the fight, but the carbine ultimately wins it out and claims control of that B site for the allies right now, allowing the bomb to go down, but they've got to be careful. Look at this flank coming in from Supreme. He's all the way over towards Cinema in the top, which is a position that the allies like to take after. Oh no, but the aggression comes through from Sus. He knows his teammate is behind, but he still goes for it. And now Supreme gives away his position at the... only has 1 kill to show for it. That's not going to be great. As both angles being watched now by 6G, this should be their round.
It should indeed be. Bomb already ticking away with only 25 seconds remaining on the clock, but he may be able to catch 1 player off guard. Oh no, you need to connect those shots, Supreme. He's not able to make it work, and 6G take themselves a second round, getting off to a very solid start here on Derailed. And as I said, I wasn't going to count them out completely. Sure, they had a poor allied side over on Manor House, but we've seen how good they were on the defense. And if they can get just maybe 4 or 5 rounds here on the allied side, I wouldn't count them out. I think they do have a good opportunity to try and send this onto Coastal. Still early days, though, of course. But I did say that, of course, after the previous map ended, so I just want to point that out, that I'm not just jumping on the bandwagon right now.
Yeah, I mean, not time to count them out just yet, but Endpoint only 2 rounds down. Still got a lot of chance to come back into this. The nade comes in onto Supreme, but it's traded back by Sus, who wins out the Gaver fight. And now the allies looking to group up towards the A bomb site. Oh, excuse me, the A bomb site, by the looks of it. Sus, the only player to be holding down there.
Skill from Helmsy. 4 on 3 right now, favoring the 6G side. Star getting aggressive. He's going to be pushing up towards this A bomb site right now. There's already 1 player ready on the site. That's Sus. First point of contact, not able to connect any shots sadly, and will be forced off into the back room, which makes things extremely difficult for him. Star finds 1. Sus with a quick trade, and surprisingly enough, I think that's Rebirth who was up close. He had been tagged up, so he actually wasn't able to peek out to try and find the refrag immediately afterwards either, so it does end up in a 2-on-2. Needs the assistance now to come in from Hustle. He is going to be slowly wrapping his way around. Nice work by Rebirth, and now it's all on the Fancy. 1-on-2. 15 seconds left on the clock for him to try and pull it off. Bomb is just being tapped. It's not going to be stuck as of yet, but as he creeps through the smoke, he will be found. Rebirth with the final kill. 2 in the round for himself in total. And a 3-0 lead for 6G early on the Allied side of the Derailed. Mitch is gone. Mitch has died apparently. RIP Mitch. But let's see. Endpoint, are they going to be able to get themselves onto the board now? My first ever battalion solo cast. Let's see how this one goes, guys. I wouldn't have high expectations, but then again, no one ever does about me. I'm full of disappointment. Oh, Rebirth. There we go. Final bullet in the clip. Just about takes the head of Sus and gains the man advantage again for 6G and jumping around the corner, follows it up with one onto J Money. Okay, Rebirth. He's making plays now. He wants to give 6G a good opportunity here in this one. Does eventually get taken down by Supreme, but of course 6G still have a man advantage for themselves to work with, so looking pretty good. 45 seconds for them now as they may look to try and just slow it down. You can see Garcia actually is on the A-bomb site, but everyone else grouped up, taking this one towards B. The Leader and Fancy are going to be the players that are in position to try and actually defend this one. But look at this from Garcia. He's actually coming in from behind right now. He's going to have a potential flank on towards. Not quite sure who that was actually. I think it was Supreme. And Hustle, he's an upper right now. That's the Leader pinned down. He tries to peek out and deny the bomb plant. It's not going to happen as it's a 4v2, heavily favoring 6G. I'm going to go ahead and just ask my producer here, what has happened to Mitch? Do we have any idea, Dark? He's got to go. Okay, fair enough.
Hello, I'm back.
I was
Had to
back.
run there.
I was just about to say, I thought you were gone for good. I was just about to say, can we get Tobin in here?
No, I have arrived. Just had to take a phone call very quickly.
That's professional, Mitch. Professional.
Well, it was to do with work as well. You know, relax yourself.
I'm presuming not the casting work. Your
No, IRL work.
Your racing track work.
Yeah, just had to secure some meetings for the next week to discuss things. But you know, here we go. Supreme got the save in that round. How's the last round go? I only missed one, right?
Yeah.
How did that go? Give me a quick summary.
Pretty convincing for 6G is really the only way to put it. It was some individual plays. There was a quick push up towards the A-bomb site by Garcia. He got so much space for them to work with, and that kind of just kept them a little bit distracted. There was the Leader and also, I believe, Fancy ready on that A-bomb site either way, but or rather on that B-bomb site either way to hold it down. They just weren't really able to find too much. So 6G 4-0 already on this Allied side. Supreme going to be able to claim the life of Hustle early on, a grenade at least. And I believe this may actually be the first time we've seen Endpoint get an early advantage so far in this map.
Will they be able to carry it forward though? I mean, from the sounds of it, 6G be pretty convincing so far, and they do manage to transfer it back to a 4 versus 4 by taking J Money firmly out of the equation. The Leader though, he's been doing well on the B-bomb site, especially when we've seen the peaks come in from Broken House, this time not occupying the upper cinema position. And as Rebirth rotates in through the spawn to help out with the ally offensive, the Leader could be in a difficult situation. The 1v1 comes out. Not going to go in favor of anybody, but now that the Leader's position's given away, all Kaisar has to do is play the time down as his teammates come in to help him out. Kills elsewhere as Fancy is dropped by Helmsy, leaves Supreme and Sus very much isolated and separated in a 2 versus 4. An STG in play on Sus and a Gewehr for Supreme. It could be time to think about saving it. Looks like that's what Sus is going to be doing. He rotates in through second mid. Supreme, with only one token invested, trying to do a little bit of damage, and he succeeds, taking Kaistar out of the game. Sus going for the save. His position's being given away, though. He's just going to make his way into spawn to hopefully carry that forward, while Supreme is just trying to delay a little bit, cause the players to stay on that B-bomb site. Then after it blows up, of course, he can save the gun that he killed over the worst. Oh, or he can find more kills, I guess, as Garcia falls. Supreme, pretty good right now. He's already done a whole lot of damage. Rebirth is going to be sitting there with the Tommy gun in hand. And he aggresses out after time. That should be the end of Supreme, but at least he managed to do a lot of damage while he was alive. Always remember. Never forget it.
Never forget the spaghetti.
I mean, the Axis side was where we saw Endpoint being so dominant in the previous map, and now it's not really working out so well.
I think the Axis has been flipped.
God. I'll let you take this round.
You let me take this round. That is
I'm
actually so rude of you, Mitch.
I'm gonna have to recover from that disgusting comment.
I have to recover. My voice is barely working. I have my mic basically in my mouth because all I can get out is a whisper. That's sexy, right?
But you're used
People
to
like ASMR.
You're used to leaving things in your mouth, so it's okay.
Oh, it doesn't just stay there. It moves around a lot usually. If you're just sitting there with it, then you're not doing a great job. But yeah, on the key star now. This looks like it should be Endpoint picking up a round, and of course, as always, Mitch, we kind of just bullshitted our way through the entire thing.
Yeah, I think every time I cast with you, Dean, I end up getting annoyed messages from the patrons afterwards. Oh, you're always getting me in trouble.
See, I'm. This is my casting style. Me and Bank spent an entire 2 weeks in Germany. That was how he said we should go about it. I took feedback from him, and we got only good feedback from the viewers. Just a little bit of banter every now and again. You can't keep all the focus on the game because it gets very repetitive.
This round isn't repetitive at all, though, because the Axis have finally got one on the board, Dean.
Good work. But can they? How much can they pull this back now?
Well, they still have the opportunity. Oh, really?
Yeah, Rebirth said his mouse is broken since he got back. His buttons are pressing themselves and stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, they still have the opportunity to repeat what they did in the previous Axis side we saw them playing, where they got 10 consecutive rounds. They can do that again, and then all they need is a mediocre allied performance, and they'll be flying. Here we go. What a way to start it off. Oh, Kaistar, he thought the nades were over, but they're still coming. Fancy is going to remain with one that's deployed late. Oh, no. Kaistar is not having a good day at all. He's getting nuked over there at top mid. Finally, though, all 5 nades have been deployed, and in the aftermath, it's only a 3-man advantage for the Axis side. Sure, that's nothing.
Yeah, this should indeed be another round being picked up for Endpoint. J Money on the car 98 going to be able to find one, and now Rebirth is all alone. He's the stand-in. He's the mercenary that has been brought in for 6G in this qualifier as a sub. Will he be able to make it work in this round? Very unlikely. But if he can at least get some kills, pick up some extra tokens, drop some weapons out of the hands of Endpoint, that would be nice, just to keep their economy modest, not allow them to build up too many tokens for themselves. Of course, the economy for 6G isn't amazing either. They'll get 2 tokens into the next round, which would allow for them to get an okay buyout. They should be able to afford at least. So Rebirth, let's see what he tries for. Looks like he just wants to save this one, which is understandable.
Yeah, you wouldn't really expect him to go for this into a 1 versus 5. We can get where he's coming from. No time as well. Even though he has the bomb, he has no bomb sight. And the 1v5, even if he could get the plant down, it probably wouldn't be favorable for him because he's got a Tommy and a shotgun. And a nade. So it's not worth him dying. I mean, if he gets the bomb plant down, okay, yeah, they get 5 tokens. But when the Axis inevitably defuse it, they get 5 tokens. But even if you ignore that, he's got a Tommy and a shotgun, plus a nade. That's 7 tokens in total. So if he dies, or even has to use that nade, it's not worth it anymore. Unless he can do a lot of damage to the Axis. So just keeping those in play for him is going to be pretty good. Let's see if the nades can play as big a role as previously. A lot of them going towards top mid, but this time we see 6G playing very passively there. They don't want to get caught out again. A Late nade comes over towards the B bomb site, which catches Fancy off guard. Rebirth to open up that round. And as Cinema Control also being taken by Hustle, it's only the leader and J Money in very, very passive positions to hold down. This could be difficult for them to do if 6G do commit to a push here, which it does seem, or they do seem to be doing. This also makes his way in through lower Cinema. You can already see Rebirth making his way onto that bomb site. He's going to be peeked out though by J Money in just a second if he's isn't careful.
Yeah, exactly. That is what's going to happen. J Money gets taken down, tries to pop up from the broken wall. He is going to go ahead and just tap the bomb, watching out for any nades that may be coming in to attempt to try and actually delay that bomb from being planted. And indeed, there was one. None left in the pockets of Endpoint right now, so the bomb plant should indeed go down. See Sus, of course, is nearby, but he's not really going to be able to find anything. Forced to fall back off. Bomb is planted, and a 3-on-5 retake on that B bomb site is going to be very difficult. If a kill isn't found almost instantly, I think a save is what they really have to go for right here. You can see, of course, they do have some pretty decent weaponry, and already they've decided it's time to just back off. A couple of SDGs, a Thompson, an MP40, and a Goer is what they're going to be allowed to carry over. And money-wise, it's not too bad either, because Sus already has 4 tokens, so as long as he survives, he'll be able to donate a few over, and they should have a pretty solid buy into this next round. But 6 already on the Allied side for 6Gaming, 6G for short. But yeah, they're looking good.
I really didn't expect to see such a dominant performance coming out from them. Rebirth to be top fragging there with 8 kills, but everybody kind of doing their bit. Hustle, who was previously the heaviest fragger for them over on Manor House, is this time going to be taking up the tail of the leaderboard. As his team come out to play, he doesn't have to do all too much. 6-2, already a great allied side coming out from 6G. And it's time to stop. It's time for Endpoint to stop, rather. The 6G side, if they want to have a good chance at taking this 2-0. We might just see a third map come out. I wouldn't be all too surprised at this point. It's early days yet. Still plenty of rounds to play for, but Endpoint really need to pick up the pace, as these have been convincing rounds for 6G so far. With the save in the previous round, it means they have got the full buy. The leader getting aggressive over towards the bottom of Cinema. Hustle's going to be pushing in there with the Tommy gun, but as he takes combat onto Fancy, he's just going to be playing with the pistol and pushes in. The leader goes for the up-close peek, loses a lot of his HP and doesn't return any damage on a Hustle. That's not going to be all too good, because we see Helmsy already coming in through upper Cinema. Now, as the kill goes down, Fancy falls. They won't expect the leader to be up this close, though. Oh no, but everybody's looking into Cinema. The leader just got erased. Supreme and J Money probably going to look to get the save in again, with Jay going a little bit aggressive because he has only got a Gewehr.
Yeah, J Money and Supreme, I don't think there's much that they can really do right now. It should be 6G with another round, although they really are taking their time. Or rather, they were taking their time in this round initially. I'm slowly ticking away, so yeah, the remaining 2 players again just forced the save, and this time they won't be able to force up around it. They have, I believe, 3 rounds lost bonus coming into this next one, if I remember correctly, so they'll get 3 tokens. If they wanted, they could technically buy, but I'd expect them maybe to just buy up some carbines around what they have saved over. Give themselves an opportunity to try and claim the round, but also make sure that into the round that follows, they will have a pretty solid investment. Supreme gets himself 1 as well there to deny Garcia from hunting them down, so there we go. They're indeed going to be able to carry over to Goer and the SDG. There was actually only 2 tokens they retrieved, so economy even weaker than I expected.
So she actually sticking with 2, oh never mind, they have got the secondary weapons. I was going to say Kaistar there, 4 tokens, sticking with an M1 carbine, but of course he has got a Kar 98K to back it up. It's only Garcia who is going to be using the carbine with nothing else. No utility being bought up either, which is interesting, or very little rather. Both Rebirth, Garcia and Helmsy. All three of them could buy up some utility, but decide not to. Upper Cinema Control, the flavor of the month for today, anyways, for this round. As the leader in Fancy, we'll be holding that down together. Sus, with the shotgun, we haven't seen that used all too frequently, or rather all too successfully. And it looks like the same thing is going to follow suit here. Kaistar finds the kill on the Sus. Over towards Upper, the leader's taking some early combat, but he's getting lit down very low. As Fancy's now being pushed down on, both players there are low HP. The leader does manage one, but he's going to be pushed in the back by Helmsy, who finds an easy kill with the MP40 long range. Garcia over towards A is going to hear Supreme making his way in through spawn, so he's going to be watching top mid and waiting for the cross to come over. Does a little bit of damage, but that gives away his position. Now as he crosses over towards mid in through connector, that just slows down Supreme on the rotation. J Money isolated as well towards the spawn, and I think this is going to be another save situation for the Axis.
And that seems to be the kind of situation in every single round so far. 6G just claim control of the bomb site. Over towards B as well seems to be their main point of, or their main focus rather so far. And this time the save not even trying to come in by J Money. He was trying to go for a Supreme. He was over on the other side of the map, so he's forced to save no matter what, but it means only one weapon is actually going to be carried over. One token into the bank for Sus. This time they do get 3 tokens each, so they probably will just try and buy up into this next round. At this point, they need to get more rounds onto the board. Already 8 for 6G on the Allied side, and the opportunity rather to increase that even further. And as we said, of course, having just brought in a pretty new lineup, J Money returning to the lineup, Supreme and Delete are also being added, means on that Allied side is where they probably will struggle even more. This Axis side is where we expected them to be pretty strong and to be able to build up most of those rounds.
Right now, I think it's looking pretty positive in my mind that we're going to see map number 3, 8-2. That said, though, while 6G have been stronger, while Endpoint have been stronger on the Axis side, 6G have been stronger on the Axis too. So the real question is, are we going to see 6G getting shut down when they rotate over as well? It's very possible, but we know that Endpoint don't have many strats. Might not be all too likely. Sus finds a good opening kill. The leader to trade back as well. This could be it. 8-7 still a possible scoreline. Let's not forget, if Endpoint can keep bringing things into their favor like this round, then they should be looking good. Already a 2-man advantage. Garcia making his way over towards the A lane, but Supreme is watching it. He'll catch him out with his back turned. That leaves only Rebirth and Kaistar. And into the 2 versus 4, Supreme playing passive on A while aggression being taken on B by the leader. Fancy holding down on the site, and Sus watching for the push in through mid. So ultimately, that should be the end of the round. Sus finding the kill on the Kaistar as well. Final nail in the coffin will be Rebirth. As he finds 1 kill on the Fancy, he's got 3 more to go. 18 seconds, there's no time. Especially with the leader right up beside him. Finally, a 3rd round comes in, Dean.
Finally, indeed. If they can bring it back up to 7, that is okay, but it's not going to be easy. 6G are just looking extremely solid, and even with 7, just Endpoint swapping over to the Allied side, then down by a round, that would still be very difficult. It's just, when you look at the context of how this game is looking right now, at least that would be a good recovery. But it's just going to be such a difficult task right now for Endpoint. I think the fact that we're very likely at this point to actually see Coastal as the decider, which is good. We do want to see some true mappers. We've seen some stomps previously, of course, 16-0 in the first game, and in the previous best of 3, Endpoint were able to take a 16-1 and a 16-3 victory over Ascension in a very convincing fashion. But clearly, up against 6G, they have a much more difficult opponent to try and actually deal with. They were a bit fancy early on to this one actually does start it off.
Yeah, the nades coming in there into Rebirth. Not going to do him any favors. They try to return it on the Allied side, but they're not able to connect anything. And unfortunately, that does mean the 1-man advantage is in favor of the Axis. which is never a position you want to be in. Generally, those opening kills do result in the round wins. Now with the smoke down to the leader, they have to push straight through that into him. He finds one, but he's not good for a second. Now it's 2v2. J Money comes in with the Kar 98K though. This is a weapon that he's very strong with. They make their way slowly in there. They have to push through the smoke if they want to get through Lightroom. The nade comes over, but it doesn't connect anything. It's a pretty bad nade. Lands up on top of the map. Helmsy up close though. Will they suspect him to be there that close? It doesn't look like they do, as he finds one kill. In 34 seconds, Kaisar's going to have to take the fight here. There's no way he'll be able to waste the time down. Smoke goes in, but Supreme's ready for the re-peek. Lands a little bit of damage now behind the bomb site. He has to go out in the open to defuse that though. Kaisar playing time. The full defuse could have come in, but Kai is betting that it doesn't. Indeed, he was right to do so. Supreme jumping through the smoke is going to be caught in the back. That's the end of that. 9-3. Another good round coming in from 6G, who I didn't really expect to win that. Thought that was looking like Endpoint's round, but no. They do manage to pull it back, and that's just indicative of why they are winning these rounds. They're able to find these kills. The previous map, they weren't able to find openings. They were giving away openings consistently when they were on the Allied side. This time, Derailed is being so much kinder to them. And as the pause come... Oh no, sorry, the pause doesn't come in. I would have expected to see Endpoint using more pauses by now, though.
Yeah, I'm surprised that we haven't seen any tactical pauses being called. At this point, they need to try and be flawless for the remainder of this half to put themselves in even a decent position. It's a pretty solid start by Sus, though, as he does actually open that up on the Kia Star. Helmsy getting into a battle as well up against, I believe that was the leader. Both players trading roughly equally in terms of the HP, so they have to back off and stop that fight for the moment until they are able to go ahead and heal up.
The leader comes in with one. It's returned, though, onto J Money. The 3v4 again. We've already seen 6G come back from it. This time, though, they're so spread out. They've made their way up behind the B bomb site. Things are looking good. Fancy's in cinema. Backed up by the leader, though. So if Hustle wants to push in there, he's going to have a hard time finding frags that aren't tradable. As Sus sits on the side, he only has to worry about his back, really, as Supreme has got mid. But that is assuming that the B side is where the Allies want to take things, and we can clearly see that's not the case. They're already on A, and they'll now be getting the bomb plant down. Oh, Garcia catches out Supreme. He was trying to come in on the flank. That's not looking all too good now, as Sus, Fancy, and the leader in a 2 versus 3. They have to be careful. They have to trade these kills. They jump around. Rebirth's taken out. Hustle makes his way up. He has to close that distance so he can stop the defuse from coming in. Garcia, towards the back of the site, is isolated, being challenged by 2, and finds 1 kill, but is taken down. Hustle, though, brings it to a 1 versus 1. Now, this could be it. Sus sitting on the bomb site. Hustle, is he going to go for the peek? He hears the defuse sound come in, but unfortunately, Sus is going to be peeking the wrong angle, and no time left anymore. Hustle plays this perfectly. Actually finds the kill in the end as well. Even if he did fall, it wouldn't matter, because there was no time left for the defuse to come in. 10-3. 6G, they're looking so strong right now, but we've seen them get shut out before. They did really well on the Axis side of Manor House. Towards the end of it, we saw Endpoint coming back into it, and then in the second half, they didn't get a single round. 10 consecutive losses, leading to them losing the map. So it's still possible for either team to take this, especially based on the previous map, but look at this fast play towards B. This could be good as they make their way in there. Fancy's going to be holding down with the MP40, not able to connect anything. Sus gets one. Sorry, Fancy gets one, not able to connect anything else. Sus finds one as well. 1-for-1 trades are in play. The aggression coming in, though, from Kaistar. He finds the kill onto the leader. Garcia getting shot from the house. He now knows that there's going to be players there. J Money going for the kills on site, but he's being pushed up close by Rebirth as he tries to cross back over to the right side. He should be peeked and taken down, but somehow he escapes. Supreme now going to be holding down to help him out, but unfortunately J Money out of ammo isn't able to provide any assistance. teammate gets taken down, and eventually he follows. 11-3. 1 round left in this half. And I'd venture to say Endpoint need to find this if it's even possible for them to pick it up anymore.
Yeah, I'd say at this point it's looking to be an almost confirmed third map, and 6G, they've just looked very, very dominant. Where was this on the Allied side of Manor House is the real question, because this easily could have been a 2-0. You just have to look back. Manor House, they had a 9-6 lead at halftime and ended up losing a 16-9. Hence, they just delayed a push early on coming in from Endpoint, so they stopped the cross for happening for at least a couple of seconds, but it doesn't really seem to have too much impact. Garcia was taken down anyway. I believe Supreme actually got aggressive to try and find that opening kill and was indeed successful in doing so. J-Money going to be forced back off a mid, so that gives a bit of room for 6G to work with as they push up towards the connector. Getting themselves into some fairly decent positions, but frags do indeed continue to go in favor of Endpoint. Fancy able to find that one, and this could indeed be a 4th round for Endpoint here on this Axis side. But even with that, it's going to be a very difficult task for them to get the comeback heading into the second half.
Well, only a 1-man advantage over the Endpoint. We've seen 6G take rounds like this a couple of times. As they make their way over towards the side, Skystar is uncontested, finds that kill. The leader not going to be able to trade it back. As Sus and J-Money, though, they're coming up on Helmsy. If they can take him down, they can even get this defuse in before Skystar can rotate in. They know that he's coming up behind them. The kill's coming in on site, hopefully. Sus trying to find it. He does eventually, goes for the defuse. Skystar finds that kill, though. But with the bomb planted on the other side of the site, he has to move fast if he wants to stop this. Sus knows he's up close. Surely they don't win this round. He gets the headshot onto Sus. Ah, there it is. The leader eventually finds it. That was getting a little bit too close for comfort as Endpoint kind of fall apart there towards the end of the round. But 11-4. They finally pick one up. This is going to be a very difficult Allied side here on Derailed. Not a side that is historically favored. But we've seen Endpoint come back into it before. We've seen them shut out 6G in the previous game. Can they do it a second time? Or are we going to see Coastal? Well, we'll find out the answer to that momentarily, as the first round is going to see a lot of Gewehr's coming out. And it looks like the Allies are sticking with grease guns.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. They go for the 1 carbine into the hands of J-Money, but other than that, it is indeed just the grease guns to be kept over. So I'd expect maybe a bit of a faster play to come out. 3 Gowers, of course, into the hands of 6G currently. And looks like Endpoint indeed want to just go immediately towards this B-bomb site. J-Money able to find themselves 1, but not before Fancy was taken down. 4-on-4. Remember, the attack has actually been delayed quite massively. That's allowed for the rotates to come in. A flank as well going to be coming in from behind in the form of Garcia, who's going to be given an absolutely massive opportunity. Finds himself 2 easy kills indeed. As now it's all down to J-Money and Supreme. Make that just Supreme. And he will also be dropped as he jumps out of the upper cinema position, flies into the air. Reaver finds that frag, and now it's 12-4. 6G. They really want the victory here on the Derailed, and they want to do so in a very convincing fashion. As we said, Coastal, if needed, which is looking likely at this point, is going to be the decider.
Yeah, with 6G so far ahead right now. And picking up that first round as well. If they can secure this second. I mean, it's the first 2 rounds that matter here. It's kind of like the CS pistol round is the first 2 rounds. As because in the second round, you're pretty much on equal footing. It's the 3rd round where if you win 2 consecutive, you have the actual advantage. Because you've kind of screwed over the other economy and you've built up enough tokens for yourself to get a full buy. But now as we see Endpoint making their way towards the B side, it's only going to be Skystar here to hold off. Garcia still sitting over towards mid. He's going to be taken down by J-Money though as he aggresses. The leader also finding that kill on the Skystar. That's the end of the round. Again, we see the second round being won out by a different team to who won the first round. It's just pretty much a second first round, so to speak. You're both on equal footing, coming into it. And as Endpoint come out victorious, they'll have the better guns in this round. The Axis go into 3 Gewehr's and 2 defaults. We see standard weapons on everybody. Nades in play for the Allies. And that's the big difference. That's what really makes a difference here. If you win the round as the Axis, you can't buy nades on the second round. And if you lose that second one, all of a sudden you're in a pretty bad position. One for one trades to open it up. Rebirth's already spotted out Fancy up close. Gets a little bit aggressive. He's getting taken down though. Fancy is the one to come out on top of those peaks. Highstar behind the smokes towards double doors. Could be dangerous. The bomb should be able to go down. No nades to deny it, of course. It's only the third round. Highstar comes in. Takes out J Money from... I'm not even sure what we call that position. Never had to call it before. Supreme comes in there with the headshot. Fancy finds one as well. And it's all on to Highstar. Things are not looking likely for him to win this out. He has to find a 3K, a 4K in the round altogether. But the leader's there to swap positions with Supreme and find the kill. 12-6. Our Endpoint gonna come all the way back into this. Well, this is where the Axis can make a stop though, Dean.
Yeah, indeed it is. This is where it's going to get a little bit more difficult for Endpoint on the solid side. It looks like we might actually see an eco coming out, so yeah, we're not going to see much being invested. Just a couple Gurs, 3, as you call them, popcorn guns being carried over.
Indeed.
And those nades as well, in case they're not going to be taken down though, so he just waited for that nade to go down, then he finally pushes forward, but that actually delayed him quite heavily. That allowed for Supreme to get into position and go ahead and capitalize on that one to open this round up in favor of Endpoint. As they're looking to try and hit this B-bomb site once again, it seems. Nice trade by Garcia. Gonna try and follow it up, but sadly Supreme to find a second for himself in this round. Meaning a man advantage once again goes back in favor of Endpoint. Supreme looks to continue to get work done. Trying to pick up the token Rebirth, that's dangerous. That is very dangerous indeed. Eventually picked it up, but he sacrificed his life for it. As this looks like it is indeed going to be a 7th round onto the board for Endpoint. Unless Helmsy can pull off a massive clutch.
Bomb planted.
If Helmsy can find this kill, which indeed he does, he'll already have a pretty good payback into the round, especially if he can save that M1 Garan, but being pushed around the right side, it's not going to be all too likely. Excuse me. Now at 12-7, a 5-round gap. 6G, because they had such a big lead, 12-6, they didn't really need to force up and take those Gevaers and nades that they could have gotten. Now they're in a better position. STGs, grenades on everybody. An MP40 and a Gevaer to back up the 3 STGs. Rebirth, the only player yet to buy a grenade, but presumably he will. That is the Axis side. Yeah, maybe not. Nope. Alright, thanks Rebirth. Thanks for just making a fool of me. With 5 rounds in between Endpoint and 6G, Endpoint can pick this up. We'll probably see another eco come in from 6G because they've got the rounds to play with. Just not take the risks. Go for the full buys. I still think Gevaers in every round is a better plan, but... Sure, look. Be grand. 1 man down already. Sus to fall again for the Axis, the Allied side, rather. He's not having a great time at the start of the rounds. You know, 6G looking to find some more kills. Ooh, but the leader hits that kill onto Highstar. Rebirth finds one. He gets a second as well. And that could be the nail in the coffin for the Allies. It's only Supreme left alive as Rebirth has found 3 kills over towards Broken House. 1v4. That was the round they needed to make a stop in, and make a stop they did.
Yeah, and this is going to be 13-7 in a couple of moments. Supreme. He's a solid player, of course. Currently, actually 19-8. He's having a great game overall. Sadly, his teammates not quite up there with him, although the leader is also on 16. So, surprisingly, the kills are actually relatively close for both sides, considering right now the scoreline does quite heavily favor 6G. I guess it's just the fact that a lot of the rounds have kind of come down to the wire. It hasn't been too convincing into a lot of them. On the other hand, this one here, it was indeed quite convincing in favor of 6G. Only Kia Star got taken down. 6 rounds now is what 6G lead by. Endpoint. They are going to be able to buy again, but if they lose this one, then they're really going to struggle as their economy will have depleted. And of course, 6G will be on the verge of getting themselves map point.
And the Allies now forcing up into this round. They've not gotten anything with the grenades. Only one smoke left in play for them. As they look to make their way towards the B site, not a whole lot of success has been waiting for them so far. Up against a full buy of 6G. Of course, 6G keeping so many players alive means that they can buy up utility yet again. We've already got the STGs, of course, in the MP40. Qualifier goes for a Gewehr and a nade. 3 nades still left in play, even though they have got control of the B site. They're going to have to bait out for those. Qualifier, what? I think that's the 3rd time that he's done that, and he's just not being checked at all. Helmsy finds one as well onto J Money. Although the trade comes in, Qualifier there with a nade kill, and then follows it up with the Gewehr kill, rather. It's all onto the leader, 1v4, and this is a bit of deja vu right now.
Yeah, 14-7, double the scoreline right now for 6G as they really are running away with the scoreline now. As I said, losing that round, it put Endpoint in a bit of a tricky predicament. Their economy not looking great, but it looks like they will buy what they can. The Thompson so far to be purchased up for fancy. The rest of the players actually yet to buy up, interestingly enough. But they will eventually go for that investment, and they decide on the carbines. So let's see if they're going to be able to make it work, or will we see 6G claiming map point? And likely sending this one over to Coastal, which I'm looking forward to seeing as well. I think that should be a pretty interesting matchup.
Oh no. Well, Dean, I think we are alive this time, despite the team kills coming in. As the leader takes the head, clean off J Money. Supreme finds one, but the 1-for-1 trade's gonna leave Endpoint in a 3v3 in what should have been a better position too.
Control Alt deleted his team,
And now, it looks like A is going to be the favorite site coming into this round. Hustle playing towards the back of the site. Qualifier will come in to make a distraction, presumably, or maybe he won't need to because Hustle's already found the headshot onto Fantasy. Sus coming around, doesn't suspect Hustle to be there. Tommy gun in hand. The leader coming up behind. Qualifier is taken out as well. And this has been a very convincing map for 6G. If there was any question about whether they deserve to be where they are right now, in the previous map, I think they're putting that to rest. 15-7. This is shaping up to be an even more favorable map for them than we saw Endpoint with on the previous map. Of course, there it was 16-9, and they're one round away from taking 16-7. The Allies on a full buy, though. Nades, Tommy guns, and M1 Garans on display. It's still possible for Endpoint, but they've got to win 8 consecutive rounds.
Yeah, it's not looking likely. 8 rounds in a row, already down into 3-on-5 in this round. It looks like it is indeed going to be a 16-7 victory here on map number 2 for 6G. Coastal seeming to be definite at this point. Pushing up close is going to be spotted out by Qualifier. J Money, if he goes for the peak, he's already low HP and likely would have been finished off. But J Money and Deleter, I was going to say all that remains, make that just Deleter, and he's going to be finished off as well. So 16-7, a very impressive performance by 6G. They impressed on both halves. On the Allied side, they had a very nice scoreline. I think in the end it was 11-4. They got off to a little bit of a poorer start on the Axis side, but you can see once they got the weaponry rolling, they had it just on lockdown.
That's a scoreline of